African American Museum in Philadelphia is Philadelphia's premier destination for African American art, history, and culture. We share the stories of African Americans in the African diaspora. We interpret those stories by sharing exhibitions, through collections, and through programs. We call this the rear yard, but for many of our visitors, this is their first view of the African American Museum. The fact is that a lot of our patrons park in this parking lot and walk around to the front, but they see this. The rear yard is an underutilized space, and thus we started looking at how we can use the rear yard to expand our programming opportunities. When we started facing this challenge of what to do with the rear yard, we said perhaps the Community Design Collaborative could have the answer for us. We really had limited resources, but we knew that the Community Design Collaborative would offer the expertise, but also a process perhaps to investigate possible strategies for the rear yard. The conceptual plan is the reflection of the creative ideas of all the folks that we brought around the table. The collaborative design team responded to the ideas generated by the volunteers and by the staff, but then they took it to another level. A wonderful aspect of the design are the colored pavings. The design team from Centera took a look and said, why can't we replicate designs that you see in African basket weaving as part of the paving? We'd never thought of anything like that. And they also introduced a very interesting material that will hold the color, but will also allow for drain off. And of course, you know, we don't have any expertise in that, but they brought that expertise and that perspective to the design process. We also want it to be a space that invites the passerby into the museum. So what we will have is expanded space that will have appropriate seating, that will allow for people to have lunch. We will have open space for our historic reenactments. We will have the living wall. Instead of this sort of safety fence, we will have a lace fence that is actually a piece of artwork. You recall from the design that this will be a very colorful landscape using a very innovative material, ground glass, that allows them to replicate African basket weaving patterns. Right now, we were very pleased to be able to apply to Artworks, which is a program of the National Endowment of the Arts, and we received a $10,000 grant to continue the design process.